Welcome to Washed Up, where your two favorite college football players, the washed up football players, are bringing you the sports you love, also known as your mother's favorite sports show. JD, we're talking more bowls, of course, bowls, and we bring you one of the more fun bowls of the whole entire season, the Cheez-It Bowl. JD down in Phoenix. Tell me, do you like Cheez-Its, JD?
Jake, I not only like Cheez-Its, I love Cheez-Its. They're good for any time of the day or night. Really good source.
Well, that's good. You need them at night, JD, because this one's going to be at night. This one's a late start, JD, 7:15 Pacific over here on the West Coast. And again, Phoenix, Arizona. Are you staying up for this one?
Oh, does the Pope wear a funny hat, Jake? Of course I'm staying up for this one.
Of course. I don't know why I asked. We have Air Force, Falcons versus those Washington State Cougars,
Yep.
Little Pac-12 versus Mountain West. JD, I think someone sent all these bowl schedules up and wanted to have some fun and decided to take the two most opposite teams and put them against each other. This is going to be a weird one. You have literally the number one pass-heavy team in Washington State versus Navy. Technically is the only team that runs the ball more than Air Force, but why don't we just say versus a team that is pretty much first in running the ball. Get this. Anthony Gordon, Washington State's quarterback, passed the ball 647 times this season, JD. On the other side, this Air Force quarterback under 100 attempts. To put it more bluntly, JD, Washington State passes it on 77% of the time. Air Force passes it on 15% of the time. You flip-flop those for the rushing percentages. So anyways, here we go. I think the question you got to ask yourself is, who's better at stopping the run and who's better at stopping the pass? Because we know what both these teams are going to do. Washington State's going to pass it, Air Force is going to run it. So who can stop the run, who can stop the pass? And for me, the answer is I think that Air Force can stop the pass, even though they're not great at it, but they can stop the pass better than Washington State can stop the run.
No, I think that's exactly true, especially with a triple option attack coming into this game. You really just got to wonder how much time and effort Washington State's put into game planning for this kind of attack. It's just not the easiest thing to game plan for, Jake. It's unorthodox. It's unlike anything else Washington State has seen this year. The next closest thing would be a read option scheme from UCLA or Oregon, and they didn't really do all that great handling those offensive attacks. So, you know, it just comes down to, like you said, how well can they stop this rushing attack, and I really don't think that they're going to be able to do a great job. Another thing is, this is a kind of the triple option offense in itself is a kind of an offense that it gets into a rhythm because you're really reading the same 3 or 4 players every single down, and if you're able to get some success early, those same players that are in their head, they kind of start to get back on their heels. Maybe they start second guessing themselves. When that happens, Jake, it's all pretty much as good as over, and this offense will be able to do whatever they please. I really think that Washington State has the firepower on offense, but when it comes down to what Air Force is bringing, they're going to be able to control the game, control the tempo, and really run away with this one, I think, no pun intended.
Well, Anthony Gordon threw for a Pac-12 record 45 touchdowns this year, which is very impressive. As you point out, though, JD, that the Air Force actually faced Hawaii during the regular season. Hawaii 4th most pass plays in college football this year. So kind of a similar offense to Washington State, and Air Force ended up beating Hawaii 56-26, you told me.
Yep.
So they took care of Hawaii in that game. That almost kind of gives you a little more confidence with these Falcons facing these Cougars.
Completely, because the only thing that I think you'd be worried about with Air Force is if they're going to be able to keep up with that kind of passing attack. But granted, it'll be something different than whatever they've seen this year, but Hawaii's got to be a stone's throw away if you're making a comparison. So,
well, this total is 67.5, JD. Maybe the over's at play then.
You think so? Yeah. I mean, I would probably err on taking the over there, but to be honest with you, I think Air Force with the points might be the play here.
All right. Well, I'm with you. Air Force minus 2.5.
Air Force minus 2.5. I think that's the way to go. Moving on, we have up next on the agenda for Washed Up, we have the Camping World Bowl with Notre Dame and Iowa State going at it. This should be a good one, Jake. It's going to be at noon on ABC, so it's going to be a quick turnaround for all those junkies. But listen, tell me what you're thinking with this game, because these are two programs that have kind of had the tale of two seasons. Iowa State coming in at 7-5, Notre Dame 10-2 after making the playoff a year ago. Really hard to make the playoff unless you're going undefeated as an independent team. But what do you see in this game when you look at both these teams?
Well, there's one in Orlando, Florida, JD, and I think a lot of the elderly people that try to go down there, the snowbirds coming from Canada, are not going to be happy when they look at the weather that's going to be happening in this late December game. It's going to be rain and snow cold, which means both these teams are going to want to probably keep it on the ground. Both obviously are probably used to these more frigid temperatures of where they just play naturally in their home stadiums. But again, cold weather is going to keep it on the ground. So who's the better rushing team? That's Notre Dame. Notre Dame 4.9 yards per rushing attempt as a team. They have a decent running back, but I think what's going to really happen is that Notre Dame's going to take over this running game. Iowa State's not going to have a lot of scoring chances, and when Iowa State wants to move their offense, they're 7th most in passing yards this year. They really like to move it through the air. I don't think that's going to really go well against this Notre Dame defense. They are 52% completion rating. That's top 20, and to be honest with you, JD, again, in this cold temperature, I don't think they're going to be passing it through the air much at all.
Completely. And when you said that about their passing efficiency and the yards they've gotten, that's minorly inflated having played in the Big 12 conference. Obviously no knocking the Big 12 teams. Baylor probably one of the only defenses in that conference that actually plays defense. So it's a bona fide 7-on-7 scrimmage every Saturday for Brock Purdy, the quarterback for Iowa State. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a very good talent. He does a lot with his legs to help this Iowa State offense. They've got some playmakers on the outside that are extremely explosive, but like you said, conditions not really lending themselves to throwing the ball in this game, Jake. Notre Dame, a good running back in Tony Jones. Ian Book can do a little bit with his legs. I just think I think Notre Dame is overall the better team. But then when you look at the conditions and all of that compared to what Iowa State has coming into this game, Notre Dame 5 in a row. I think they make it 6 in this one.
Yeah, Matt Campbell for Iowa State signed an extension, JD, but not that really affects the extension or everything based on what's going to happen in this game is going to determine if that extension is worth it or not. But I do think Notre Dame, as much as it pains me to say, will take care of these Cyclones down in Orlando.
Now, do you think Matt Campbell's throwing back a few too many eggnogs after that extension, and you think he takes his foot off the gas, or what's the strategy there, Jake?
Hey, you gotta stay warm somehow down there, JD. I can't imagine a better way with a little eggnog in your system. But again, give me the Irish, the Fighting Irish down there, Orlando. I think it's Notre Dame minus 3.5. Not a lot of points in this game, JD.
To use your SAT word that you used there, Jake, we are 100% in agreement on this one. I'm with you. Notre Dame over the Cyclones. Don't know how close it'll be, but I think that Ian Book has a big day, and I think Tony Jones runs the ball well as well. Brock Purdy does all he can, but I don't think he has enough firepower to carry this team. I don't think it will not be Purdy for the Iowa State Cyclones.
No, not be Purdy, baby. All right, well, that is it for us today on Washed Up as we leave our accents no further than what we just did there. But anyways, thanks for joining us today, and we will be with you next time as we just start discussing the bigger bowls of the season, JD, the playoffs, and some of these New Year's 6 bowls. So a lot coming your way, so stay tuned, give us a like, subscribe to our channel for all that we're bringing to you this holiday season, bowl season. This is Washed Up.